faster, higher, better. Before Cryon's collapse, Centium had found a very rare element called cavorite, a material that, when fused with various ores, will lessen its overall mass significantly, an anti-gravity additive in a sense. This is because cavorite is lighter than gas, yet it is solid, and it floats. When smithed into a mech, an H1 Hepton HV loader for example, it will be up to 37.5% faster. Prosk also had this resource available, but as always, made it better. They researched and developed an even better form of cavorite called nanocavorite, with the exact same properties as the original substance, but twice as light. So it made their mechs not only 75% lighter, but it also enabled them to perform low-thrust vertical propulsion, LTVP for short. These mechs were now able to fly. And they moved faster than anything else. Then, those two gigantic corporations started to fight over cavorite sources using their battle mechs, because both were completely dependent on it. These battles are now known as cavorite conflicts. The mechs still needed fuel, and fuel was a limited, even though not a scarce resource. Now, up until this point in the history of humanity, fuel was something extremely valuable that was gone after being burned once. And after Cryon's collapse, many things were as valuable as ever. Things such as food and bullets, but fuel, of course, was even more sought after. Researchers experimented with various substances that were created as a result of the Hawken virus, even fecal matter of vermin. The digestive systems of vermin on this planet are very adaptive, and after a few months after the release, rats had been observed to be eating the metallic residue left behind by the virus. Now, a bazillion of chemical experiments with the fecal matter were conducted, among them cooking it up and mixing it with a classified substance I am not allowed to name. Anyway, by doing so, a type of fuel was created so potent a few hundred liters could power Titan, Centium's headquarters and the second biggest city on the entire planet, for several months. This is an enormous amount of energy. And as if that wasn't enough, as the fuel is derived from the self-replicating metallic patches of which the gigastructure consists, the fuel is able to regenerate itself. Yes, a fuel that replenishes. What seemed impossible is now a part of our daily life. It is called vitrolium. I'm not sure whether to call the creator insane or a genius, but it was an incredible discovery. Though, just like during the cavorite conflicts, Prosk and Centium interests clashed massively again, and they started the so-called Vitrolium Wars. Although the fuel never runs out, the speed of regeneration is very slow, so a chemical catalyst is infused into the vitrolium. But the ratio of catalyst to vitrolium is 1 to 1,000, so a huge amount of vitrolium is needed to create a fully functional mech. Speaking of which, to prevent mechs from using all the vitrolium in the tank has a special mechanism that stops a certain amount of fuel from being used. So, for example, an infiltrator has 108 liters of vitrolium in its tank. Only 100 will be available for use, because the more fuel is left, the faster it will regenerate again. Oh, by the way, the vitrolium wars never ended. Because the gigastructure is already massive and it is still growing, there will always be vermin eating away at the patches, their excrements being used for petroleum. The cycle of war is perpetuated, and with that, we have arrived at the present day. Up until now, I've been speaking about what happened in the past, but from now on, I will speak about what is happening, and maybe what is yet to happen.